Welcome everyone to day 7 of our Christmas calendar here on the channel. Now, we are going to do another top 3 video. And this is also a video that has never been shown before. And now I'm going to rank my top 3 best tournament performances. I've played every single tournament when it comes to 18-hole play. I have skipped a couple of 9 holes, but I played every 18-hole tournament. I made the weekend round in every 18-hole tournament, which is not someone else has done. I'm the only one that has done that, and always at a highest level. But there are a couple of tournaments that stands out when it comes to my performances, and I don't think you will know which one I will talk about because it's interesting. I'm gonna just leave it at that. Let me know in the comment section below what your top 3 performances has been in tournament. It necessarily doesn't have to be the score you shot. It could be other factors that be factored in that will make that a great performance. So enjoy this video and make sure to make a comment before you leave. Alright, so now we're gonna take a look at my top 3 performances in tournament. And we have had so many tournaments in Golf Clash, it's hard to keep track of them all. And that goes for 9-hole cups and also the 18-hole tournaments. And when it comes to my list here, it has been specified towards the 18-hole tournaments, because the 9-hole cups, I mean, even though I've been playing the majority of them, I haven't been playing all, and it's also those type of tournaments where you might not spend the most effort in, or at least that's it for me. So this is the top 3 performances I've done in 18-hole tournaments. For number 3, we're gonna talk of a fairly recent tournament called the Typhoon Tournament. For those that didn't play that one or don't remember, that was a tournament where we had one of the tougher courses in the game called Portello Cove, and we also had it with increased wind speed. And to just give you another example of that, was that if you were playing with a Wind 5 ball in Master, you were playing with winds that was the same as you would be playing with a Luminary when it comes to the regular wind speed. So you have wind around 11.5 to around 13 miles per hour with a Wind 5 ball, and obviously that was higher in the other divisions as well, and it made it all tougher. And adding that to a tournament called the Portello Cove, I mean, that was like adding on, that was very difficult. But the reason I have this as number 3 is because I had one of my better performances in the weekend round, and I believe the performances there was mainly due to me keeping myself calm. I was not overplaying, overanalyzing. I wasn't mad about the scenario with too much wind and that it was that difficult. And I, in the end, came into 4 very tough brackets. And 2 of the brackets I had the best player in the world playing in. And that was at a point where I was usually losing when being in the same bracket with a shot or 2. He had tiebreaker in one bracket, I had tiebreaker in one. I ended up in absolutely smashing those rounds. And also the other 2 rounds that I played that was not in the same bracket, I ended up playing really well and shooting scores that I would be satisfied with even with the normal wind speed. And it kind of came up to me realizing that, I mean, we could do well without having to play a Wind 5 ball every single time. So I was super pleased with my performance, and gave me a little eye-opener that we might not should be that focused on the Wind 5 balls every time. For number 2, we do have the Grizzly Tournament. And the Grizzly Tournament, for those that don't remember, that was a tournament when we had the Eagle Peak. Now, Eagle Peak is one of the easier tournaments in Golf Clash, we need to admit that. But it's also one of the more fun ones, because there are a couple of funnels, some short par 4s, and stuff like that, which allow us to shoot low scores. Before this tournament, my personal best was minus 39. And that personal best was something I was very proud of, but I have been longing and looking for that minus 44 a very long time. And in the opening round, I ended up not shooting the minus 40, I ended up shooting the minus 41.
1, and that is my new personal best to this date. And I also ended up in the weekend round shooting a -40 as well on my main account to finalize the tournament on a good note, ending up winning medals on all my accounts, if I'm not mistaken. So I had a really good tournament. I also broke my personal best, and I got that -40 and also -41, and that was like creme de la creme when it comes to my performance, and that's why the Grizzly tournament with the Eagle Peak is number 2. Alright, for number 1, now we're gonna go way back in the day when it comes to playing Golf Clash. We're gonna go to Creepy Cliffs. I'm very curious to hear if there is anyone that actually remembers the Creepy Cliffs, as the Creepy Cliffs is a tournament that is not even featured on our website. The Creepy Cliffs was a tournament that we played way back, and that was at the time where there was very few special balls. I mean, we didn't use special balls in the same extent before, and the clubs was also not super good. And the drops, I mean, you didn't drop much. I do have a highlight video up on YouTube that you can search for Golf Clash Tommy Creepy Cliffs if you want to see that replay, and you can see how old the game is compared to how it is now. Why is Creepy Cliffs my number 1 then? It's because I managed to play a -32 with much worse clubs than I have now, with much worse balls than we are even able, with much worse balls than what I'm playing with now. And I managed to shoot a -32 and absolutely destroying the bracket. To add the last little point there as well, at that point I was not using the wind ring system in the same way as I was using here now. I was against the wind ring system in the beginning because I was a little bit afraid of that not being as solid as it is, because obviously the wind ring system, we all know, is super solid. So in the end, I ended up shooting a -32 with less experience, less skills than what I have now, and also worse equipment. And that is by far, and I mean it truly, that is by far my absolute best tournament performance that I've ever done in Golf Clash.